everybody. Welcome to Quilt Tube number 26, Bristol Blue, and I am Amy. I'm sorry, I've been delayed a little bit. There have been some extenuating circumstances, and I'm about to go through those with you right now. I did my last video on January 30th, where I just talk about my quilting projects, where I am with them, what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and that kind of thing. I go live because I'm not a good editor, and the time and the patience it takes to do that, I really won't have the time for it right now. But there has been a major change in my life as of this past week, and hopefully within the coming weeks I am going to be taking on more time to learn new tools and things, and I'll get to that here in just a minute. I'm gonna go through my planner from January 30th. I'm just going to go through all the days, and I can pull out all the things that I worked on, and I can show you what I did and things that happened on specific days. So we're going to start with, I think January 30th was the last thing. So the next big thing that happened after January 30th was we had plumbing issues here in the home, and the sewer line from the street to the house had roots in it. So the plumbers were coming the next Friday. So the plumbers came, fixed, gave us all new pipes. That felt good. And the roots that go from the house to underneath my front porch in the ground, they didn't replace that pipe because you have to tear up my whole front porch. But they did put something in there to open up the space. So I have plumbing, I have sewer, we can take showers and all that good stuff. It's all good. Everything is beautiful, and it changed the whole way I can lay out the washer and dryer and stuff down in the basement too. So that worked out really well. It was also that Friday was my boyfriend's son's birthday. Not like I did anything about it, but I did talk to him. He turned 21, a big 21. So then that Saturday, I was working on my mother's quilt. It had come back from the quilter, and so I put the binding on it. And on February 11th, I delivered it to her. It is on her bed, and she is using it. And my phone is on a charger down in the kitchen, so I can't show you the pictures that I took of it with the binding on it. So I will do that on my next video. So I didn't bring that up here. I just sat down, and I got done working for the day, and I sat down, and I'm going to get this out because I promised the 7th or later. And if I don't do it tonight, it's probably going to be another week and I'll get to that. But so Mom's quilt is on her bed and all's done. And February 11th, that was delivered to her. February 12th was my birthday, and I didn't anything but sit in my sewing room all day. The other things that I worked on prior to that is I wanted this finished for Valentine's Day. So I finished the pillow. I did some really tiny grid print stitching on this with a pink thread, fine pink thread. So this laundry basket quilts, Sweet 16 pinks and stuff from all different kinds of things. I used a Lori Holt fabric on the back and made a envelope cover for this little pillow. And the inside is an insert that I made myself. I used down feathers from a large feather pillow that I had and made the insert for this. So I think it was a 12-inch pillow. I didn't put enough feathers in it, but So again, the back and my front. I love this little pillow. It just sits on a chair in my living room right now. And a lot of these were leftovers from this. Here is my Sew in Love quilt. I had it all basted and ready to go, but now that I have a quilter, and as soon as I can afford to have her quilted, I will get it to her. But this is my Sew in Love quilt. So a lot of these were leftovers from working on this project, which I did 4 years ago. Was a monthly sew along. I got it from the Fat Quarter Shop, and every month you got a pocket envelope in the mail with all the fabric that you needed. And I had the Sew in Love book with all the patterns and stuff. So I took all the pins out of it because it was pin basted, and I pulled the backing off to yardage of that. And what I need to do is get this ironed and measured to make sure that this is going to be enough for my quilter, because she wanted at least 8 to 10 inches all the way around. And I don't think there's enough of this, because when I did it for myself, I pretty much only did it to just hang out just a little bit from the other side. So I may have to order some more backing, a different backing. And once that comes in, then we can get this off to the quilter. And again, finances are going to be a situation which I'll get to here in a minute. Let me get through February. So let's see here. And I did that early in February. And let's see here. I also worked on a heart mug. And now this, I don't remember who this was, but they were free monthly. She did a month of mugs, I believe, patterns. And this was like a Valentine one. And so I made that. I'll have to put a link below in the description later when I figure out where the pattern came from. Honestly, right now, I don't remember. But I made this mug. It's going to be like a table mat or whatever. I don't know. It was just something I wanted to have. I was in like this Valentine mood. And so I picked out this fabric to be, it's all Tula Pink dots, firmer dots and stripes. So, and then I'm going to use this as the binding for the quilt top once I get that together. And that might not even happen until next February. I'm not 100% sure if I'll ever get that finished, but it's going to go in the closet with all the other unfinished projects that are kind of low priority. It's after February, so I don't know that I even need to have it right now, but I wanted to sew it. I thought it was cute. So I did, and never finished it. So let's see here. I have also worked on something that I have been working on for several years again. It is called Raspberry Ice Cream. And it was a pattern from Kay Fassett's Quilts of the Cotswolds. And this is the quilt. I made my version of this using all Kay fabrics. And I've been hand stitching it. Big quilting, big hand quilting on it. But that's the quilt itself. My version of it is down on the dining room table. And I will bring it up at some point, but I've been hand stitching on it using Orafloss, and also DMC. So I've been doing some hand stitching. It sits on the dining room table, so whenever I get a moment to go into a couple stitches, I've been kind of going in the circle because it's kind of like a big log cabin with a centerpiece and then all these pieces that go all the way around it. And there are different sizes, 2-inch, 1-inch, 3-inch. They're all different sizes. And I'm just kind of going around in the big circle. And I'm out to the outer edges, but it's a big quilt, so it takes a while to get through that. But I will show you that. So it's something to continue to watch my videos for, because that will be coming up very shortly. I might bring it in for my next video, which I hope will be fairly soon. I hope to at least do a minimum a weekly video. So let's see, what else did I work on? The Hartman and laundry basket quilts. I think I worked on the, I did not do 8 and 9 yet, but I have pulled some fabric choices for those. This one here is for 8. I picked out these fabrics to do block 8, and I picked out these for block 9. However, I'm not sure I want to go and put some browns in there or not, but I just don't know what to do with that yet. I have to really, I may have to rethink this whole process. I wanted to use something I hadn't used yet in my fabrics, but I may have to go back and start using some new ones because I still have not placed my order for the stuff that's in my cart on her site. But over here, I have all of my blocks that I have made, 1 through 7, and then the bonus blocks, and then all of the hearts that I've been making to go along with each of the blocks, as well as the hearts for the bonus blocks. And then this lovely little thing in the corner here is a Tilda Easter bunny. But I have not, I wasn't sure what did I do with that other bunny pattern. Oh, it's up here. Let me grab it. This is the pattern I showed in, I think, my last video, Easter Parade. And this is by Center Street Quilts. And I got it off their website, paid for, off their Etsy shop or something. But Center Street Quilts, I got that. And so I had made some of these before in previous years. I think I've had this for a couple of years. But I thought I wanted to try doing one in Tilda fabrics. And honestly, I don't know that you can tell that they're bunnies. So, I don't know. I'm in this mode right now where I've been making baskets. And I purchased this Elizabeth Hartman pattern a couple weeks ago, actually 3 weeks ago maybe, and I made a couple bunnies. Let me show you. They're so cute. Here's the blue one, and I used Tulip Pink's ears, fabric for the ears, and then they're just solids. This is Tulip Pink black on black fabric that I use. That's why you see some little spots in the eyes and stuff. I have a thread on one side. Where is it? It's driving me crazy. All right. And then I have a pink one. And this is actually going to be an Easter basket. So I have lining in here. So one's upside down when you look at it this way. And it goes like this. And so this will be a boxed bottom on it. I just need to put some batting in between to kind of give it some dimension. Either fusible fleece or something. And I have these ribbons cut for handles. So it's going to look like this other basket I made, which is already done. And I made this out of Riley Blake Liberty fabrics and an Essex linen. So I drew up my own patterns for the bunnies, my heart pattern, and then I made some hexies out of a Liberty. And I did some big stitching and some blanket stitching on and around the flower. I did a blind stitch all the way around to tack it onto the fabric. And then the other ones I did a whip stitch all the way around, but this is the back of it. And it does have a bottom. and it is lined with a pink toile fabric, and it's got ribbon handles. And so that's going to go in my Etsy shop. So I just need to get pictures taken of that. Another thing I made that needs to go in my Etsy shop that I kind of made several months ago. I just haven't put it out. I think I finished it in December, but it's this Christmas. It's called Peace on Earth is the fabric line. I don't remember who the designer is, but it's called Peace on Earth. And I made this project bag out of it. I made the pattern for the tree myself so that it would fit this size. It's a very simple pattern. It's got Christopher Thompson's Daisy fabric on the inside, red thread. So it's just the quilting on the front. I just outlined, echoed the tree itself, and only did one line within the tree. And then the back is just a grid. And that's the inside. It's got a white zipper. And then I made this zip for pouch to go with it. And it has a striped lining inside. So that's all going to go on my Etsy shop at some point. So pay attention if you're interested in any of those items. Those will go on there. I'm also considering whether or not I'll take like email and work that way. So if you are interested, I can take PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App for payment on those. And we could discuss cost. If you're interested, let me know. I won't say prices on this video, but if you're interested, I could potentially do it that way if it doesn't show up on Etsy very soon. But this is also going to be, that bag will look just like the other one. It'll be a little bigger just because of the bunnies and stuff are much larger than the pattern that's on there. So, well, potentially, maybe not. Once I get it made, it might be the same size. We'll see once I get this finished, and I will get that on Etsy as well. So those are things that I have been working on. I do have another with some navy bunnies and gold hearts and a different flower in the middle, but these are the Riley Blake Liberty fabrics. And I might get the energy and may have the ability here soon to make lots of things and be able to spend some time with advertising and all that kind of stuff. So something has happened in my life that has given me more opportunity to potentially do more stuff where that's concerned. The other thing that I have worked on is Mercantile quilt seeds. I did put a halt to this subscription for now, just because we'll get to it. But this is the Mercantile quilt seeds, and I was working on the quilt block. So I made all of the units. I just haven't placed them all together. So I have all of these in here individually. I just need to sew it all together, and I'll have that part of this one done. I really like her method of how she does her tulips and these with just sewing flips. It's very simple, and it all works out so neatly. I was so impressed with that. So I'll work on, I think, one of the other motifs and slowly get that one put together. I was going to try to get the whole thing done by the end of the month, but then something happened, and now whether or not I can continue that subscription is up in the air as well. So, hang on. Where am I at here? There are some other things that I still have to do that I didn't work on. I work on Easter baskets, Liberty Hexies. I made quite a few of them. Here, I have these sitting right here. So I made this one. Lighting and this camera suck. It's just bad. This one here is a cute little red, white, and blue one. So I don't know. I may make something different with these. So here's my navy blue bunnies. This one and this one. And I've got a red and a green heart. I don't know what I'm going to do with those, but these are some other Liberty Hexies that I made. This is like a really dark teal. Can't really see the colors. This one here kind of works better. And this one. So I was on a hexie kick. I have one gold heart. I know I have another one somewhere. It must be up there, but I was going to do, I may have to do a blue hexie to go with this, but these we're going to go on there. I was going to make the same one kind of like this one, or maybe lay it out a little different. And I might do two so that there's one on the back side. That idea hit me when I came up with these two bunnies. That maybe I could put one on each side. So there you go. Some of this stuff just hits me and I don't even know. I don't know why I didn't think about it in the first place. But so those are some of those things that I worked on. Liberty Hexies. I did some crochet. Out of the blue, I was working on some crochet. I'll show that next time. I didn't think, just thought about it now. I didn't bring it up here with me. It's downstairs by at my seat at the on the sofa. Davenport. My mother would call it the Davenport. So anyway, I was sitting there trying to relearn crochet. I know how to do granny squares and stuff like that, but these were like daisy things that I did. Again, I really hate to get into any detail because I can't show you anything. So maybe I'll talk about it in my next video. Okay. That was February and now March. So I worked on the Daisy Granny Squares, Mercantile Quilt Seeds, and the Elizabeth Hartman Bunnies. That's all I worked on this month. This past Monday, I went to work. I'm not sure if I've ever shared with you, but I have been struggling with management over some things. And I got fired. I'm very happy about it, though. I didn't like working there. However, I did not get fired because of a bad behavior or anything like that, but I have been struggling with a requirement of my job description. And I gave her my 2 cents. I've got 6 managers in 4 years, and I've had to repeat myself over and over again. And I was the only one fighting for change. And even though all the other staff wasn't going along with it, we didn't like band together to make a change to how something was asked of us to do. So anyway, management is very micromanagey, into all kinds of little things that I just couldn't get into that. But anyway, so for several months now, it's been an ongoing process, and I was not living up to their expectations as far as performance standards meant, not like my actual job, my checking in of patients in the emergency room or anything. It was all the extraneous other work that was required of us to do. That wasn't really our job to do. But anyway, so I am eligible for unemployment. It's not like for bad behavior, attendance, or anything like that. So I filed for unemployment immediately Monday evening. And this was like 3:00 in the afternoon this past Monday. And so I do have another job. I have my hands in a few things. So last October, when my boyfriend and I were getting back together, I had gone to the cities for a couple of days. And so we were staying in this hotel, and we were trying to get something to eat online website. And then we were going to drive over to at Denny's, which is just down the street, and go pick it up. Well, we were having some trouble with that. So we ended up going over there, ordering it, and then waiting for it. And so while we were waiting, there were all these Door Dashers coming in to pick up food and deliver it. And I'm like, what? I always thought about, giving that a try. And so the next Monday morning when I got home, I signed up and tried it. And I really enjoyed it and just did it kind of part-time-ish. And so then I think it was December. I think Rich and I did it together, and we really enjoyed doing it together. We have a really good time doing it. And so that's kind of all I've done this week now is just DoorDash, and I really, really enjoy it. And I think it would be kind of cool if the two of us did a video, had a YouTube channel where we just did something with our door dashing. So it's been fun, and I kind of like to share the experience, or kind of like do some sort of like ride along kind of thing. So I was kind of practicing today while I was dashing. He's in St. Paul right now, so I'm kind of doing it alone this week. He'll be back on Tuesday. But I'm just like, I've been toying with some ideas here, but I got Tuesday was payday from the previous couple of weeks from my job at the hospital. And so I needed to make sure that just in case I didn't get my final paycheck and all of those other final payouts and whatnot, the PTOs and all that kind of stuff, if that didn't fall through, then I needed to make sure I was going to have enough money to pay the bills. And because I just had all the plumbing work done. So there's like really not a whole lot of money I'm dealing with right now. So I'm a little freaked out about that at the moment. So and everything is just perfectly fine. All the bills are paid. Everything's taken care of. We're good for the month. I have to find medical benefits. And so that's what I'll be working on the next 3 weeks, is trying to figure out how I'm going to be able to take care of that. I had started doing some research for my son because he turned 26 on the 18th of February. And so he was losing his benefits through me at my job at the end of February. Well, now I'm losing my benefits at the end of March. So we need to figure that out. So I have got that all taken care of. I mean, I don't have it all taken care of, but I'm not that worried about it. And so when I was applying for my unemployment benefits, they had this link in there on their website that, if you're looking for additional money, go to unclaimed property things. So I always was leery about that because I wasn't sure if it was going to be real legit. I was afraid to put my name and stuff out there, but I went ahead and did it just because it's on their website. I figured it wasn't like an ad or anything. It was just part of the documentation. So I clicked the link and I went to it, and I actually found $437 from an insurance company when I lived in Minneapolis, like over 15 years ago. So it had that address, and now I've been given the form that I need to print out. And since I don't have a printer, I've got to take it to, I think I can go to UPS store and do it because it also needs to be notarized to verify my identity. So there you go. Throw it in another $400 and some into the bucket. So I'm not worried about money right now. I'm not anymore. Everything is taken care of. Everything is good. All the extras and stuff right now, I just want to make sure I got a flow for how things are going to go with door dashing and how the taxes are going to work with that. I didn't make enough last year to actually think about the filing for that, but And I'll think about that because I'm one of those who waits to the last minute to do your taxes. So I'll look into that more. But so anyway, that's been the gist of it. And so that's kind of what I'll be doing now for the next couple of weeks, is trying to just figure out a work schedule for that. Today I did like 7:30 to 11:30, and then took a 2.5 hour break, and then went back out for another 4 hours. And that seemed to work out okay. So Rich has been gone and he'll be back on Tuesday, but I think, between the two of us, we'll figure something out, and it's not going to be that big of a deal. So, because he needed to look for a job when he moved down here permanently anyway. And so, or he wanted to, and was going to. So I think we're just going to stick with door dashing for a while and see if we can make a go of it. I'm a little worried about the wintertime, just because, with the time changes and stuff and the weather and all that kind of stuff, you're going to be able to door dash as much every day as what we would need to in order to make sure everything's taken care of. So if we can just work our butts off through the summer and stash away a few, $1,000, maybe we can we can make it all work. So I'm just trying to make sure I'm not like freaking myself out, because I'd like to have way more than I need to make sure that, things aren't going to happen. Bad things won't happen, and I can't take care of it. Anyway, I only worked part-time at Mayo, so it's not like those paychecks were massive. So, but it was the benefits, I think. And that is my mother's big concern, and I totally get it. And at 58, I'm an overweight smoker and was doing a sedentary job that I hated, absolutely despised going to that job, absolutely despised it. And I was afraid I'd have a heart attack or a stroke. So anyway, I don't feel that way anymore. I couldn't be happier. No, I don't have to go to overnight shifts and whatnot. So anyway, I'm very, very pleased. And I think I can still work part-time door dashing, and even Rich and I both part-time door dashing. It makes us both full-time. So I think that'll be just fine, because we don't have a lot of bills. Don't have a lot of bills. I don't pay for television, cable, very minimal cell phone bill, and that works just fine. So everything's gravy. It's just whether or not I can continue to afford fabric. That's my biggest worry right now. So I can continue to sew and have projects to show. But, I do have a stash. I can work with what I have, and that'll be good. And I just looked down behind me. Hometown. I haven't worked on it since the last video, but I did have a viewer question. The question was, I am not doing my applique the same way that Lori Holt is doing it. I am doing it, Lori uses the interfacing. And so when you sew the interfacing to the fabric and you flip it inside out, there's like that extra 1/4 of an inch. It could potentially be up to 1/4 of an inch of fabric that, when you fold it in, you're making smaller pieces. I am using the exact same size, and it's with fusible webbing. So it's not getting folded over, as if you were turning it inside out with the interfacing. And so the question was whether or not the finished size of the block was still going to be 14.5. And I have validated with the blocks that I have finished that there is at least 1/2 inch give to make 14.5 inch square out of it. Now, I haven't finished the rest of the squares, but I will make sure that I'm taking into account, because I don't know that I actually was with the other blocks. But when the other blocks come, so if for some reason I needed to go bigger, then I just make all of them bigger. So I make sure I measure them all first and make sure they're all going to fit to the 14.5 without, hurting any of my applique, that there's plenty of room between them. And that's fine. So I'll be able to manage that. So, but I have at least half an inch on either side. Top and bottom, I have way more than enough space for that. So it's not an issue. So if there's anybody else who is doing fusible webbing for the hometown soul along the houses, let me grab this one. There is plenty of space. There's at least half an inch on either side to still make this a 14.5-inch block. And then there's way more than enough from top to bottom to make sure that it fits. So I have not done the applique on this. The stitching around this one here, the other ones, but yet. But I will at some point get to those. I think I'm going to wait till all the blocks are done. So I haven't done anything more on that, but maybe we'll get back to having like a hometown day. I'm sure I'm the only one who's still doing it. Somebody else had made a comment about it too, and then the comment disappeared. So I'm not sure if you're still out there and you're still subscribed or not, but I did get your message, and I was very thankful for the new subscribers. You're subscribing even though I'm not providing any new content, and I feel guilty as all get up. So anyway, we're getting close to 370 subscribers, and as soon as I get to 500, I'm going to have my first giveaway. And I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's going to be a handmade item that I have made from one of my vintage projects. So I've been holding on to that specifically for that. So when we get to 500, I'll start we'll have little giveaways and stuff. So I can't guarantee when my next video will be. I hope it will be at least a week from today, no later than that. But I'd like to get to something where I'm kind of putting you into my sewing day, and I want to get up in here every single day and do something, and want to continue this and moving this forward. But I have also been neglecting my Etsy shop, and nothing has sold in a couple of months, and I have to spend some time figuring out what I need to do to keep that moving forward as well. So advertising, I was doing that and I canceled that. It was selling things, don't get me wrong, but it was a little expensive. So I need to figure out a different method and a new way of doing things. I also want new equipment, because this pixeled look that I'm seeing right now and what it's going to look like when you see it, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And I want to take you along on travels, because I hope to get out to be able to do some more of these things, go shopping and take you with me and do videos in the stores and quilt shops. And, I still have a cross stitch update that I need to make. However, I'm not doing a whole lot of cross stitch. And those projects that I am working on, if anybody's looking for an update on that, I am working on those projects for like 2-3 weeks before I move on to another. So I've got very little update there, but I will hopefully get to a video for that specifically here soon as well. So I can't guarantee it, but I hope to see you next Sunday night and have an update and show you the things I talked about, like my crochet and my K-Facet raspberry ice cream quilt. I'll bring those with me next time too. All right. I love you. Thanks for hanging with me. Thanks for all my new subscribers. You don't know how much it means to me that I'm still get subscribers, even though I'm not providing any new content. And my life is always literally changing, obviously. I'm get a new boyfriend, lose a job, gain a new job, work 3 jobs. I'm having a hard time keeping it all together. But I hope now that with just these 2, and we can make out a new schedule and get a routine in order, and we have some sort of, so I know where I stand and where we stand with all of this and stuff. So I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you for being here. And I hope to see you next week. Okay? I'm going to try to keep that promise for at least this time next Sunday night when I get done dashing. If I dash that night, I'll be here, okay, sometime on Sunday. If not sooner, and it might even be the following day, but I don't want to make promises that I can't keep, and I apologize again. Thank you so much. Enjoy your evening. Have a fabulous week, and stay stitching and stay positive, okay? Thank you. I love you. Bye.